We all know the type of games that Joe Flacco and Colin Kaepernick put up on Divisional round weekend of the NFL playoffs. But in Eric Shorts and Shell, we talked about some of the kind of unsung units that really helped get their teams into the next weekend, the conference championship weekend. And Eric, let's start with those Ravens. We all know what Flacco did, but that defense also played a lot better than we thought it would.
Yeah, I had trouble narrowing it down even further than that. But Corey Graham, his early pick six, that was a huge play. Obviously a little fortunate. Ray Lewis, we know his story, playing with that triceps, in on every play on defense. Just amazing. 17 tackles, 7 more than anybody else on the field. I mean, the fact those guys were out there for 94 plays in that game, and the fact the Broncos couldn't take advantage of that and beat that group, hats off to the effort they put out there. Only 16 players got defensive snaps for them on Saturday.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected that the Broncos were just going to keep scoring and scoring, but the Ravens came up with the big stops when they needed to. The San Francisco 49ers, Kaepernick, huge day for them. The record day on the ground, what he did through the air. Now, we know the Niners offensive line, I mean, that's not an unknown group. It's a blue chip unit, but they're the kind of unit that's being a little bit forgot about when you look at Kaepernick's game. By
my count, there were only 2 bad plays. I mean, Joe Staley playing with a bad arm, gave up a sack early in the game. Jonathan Goodwin looked like he was a little off on a snap at one point. That was it. It was about as clean a sheet as I've seen. They were dominant up front. They pushed the Packers around. 579 yards of offense. I mean, that's the proof in the pudding right there. Frank Gore was running well. That's because he had the holes, the options to run through. Kaepernick was dominant. It was because of those guys up front. Anthony Davis at right tackle, Mike Upati at left guard. Those guys were paving holes.
Now, clearly Trent Baalke's made it a point to build that offensive line.
3 first-round picks.
First-round picks, getting guys, giving them a lot of money in free agency, and it's worked out well for them. Atlanta Falcons, their offensive line played well too, and we all know about Matt Ryan, Roddy White, Julio Jones, that called big plays. Defense made some nice plays, but that backfield, which has been a little maligned at times this season because it's been inconsistent, really stepped up in the win over Seattle.
Yeah, I thought the 2 keys for them were stopping the run and then running the football, and they really got it done on both ends. And as far as running the game, in the running game is concerned, Jacquizz Rodgers gave them the early boost, ripped off that large 45-yarder, had 64 yards on the day. And Michael Turner seemed a little inspired by it. He had 98 yards of his own. Ran with some more power through tackles. Jason Snelling added a receiving touchdown. So nice balance there. The 3 guys I thought really contributed towards the win in a big way.
Now the New England Patriots are a team that is used to guys kind of coming out of the woodwork and stepping up for them. It's always Tom Brady, Wes Welker, Aaron Hernandez had big games. Rob Ninkovich is now a household name the way he's played all year. But a couple guys came off the bench because of injuries and helped out that offense.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead gets hurt on the first play of the game. He's out. Rob Gronkowski doesn't last that much longer. Let's step guys like Shane Vereen. He had the hat trick. He was outstanding. We didn't know he was this good a receiver. Hadn't shown that kind of skill since college. And Michael Manuanue, you didn't think I'd get it out, but I did. Outstanding at tight end in the blocking game. I thought he was a huge part of the factor there. Justin Francis, sub-package defender, played really well in this game too. So it's always about those guys at the bottom of the 53-man roster. The Patriots always seem to get ready to play in big situations.
Now we could probably expect some close games next weekend in the AFC and NFC title games. It's going to be guys like this, units like this, that if they can make the big play either way, because Tom Brady's going to bring it.
Yep.
We can kind of expect it from Kaepernick at this point. You look at each of these teams, they have their stars, but it's the unsung heroes, the unsung units, that if they step up and do enough, they can get a win and get to New Orleans.
Right, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be these groups that we just mentioned that step up. It could be somebody else, because in my mind, you won't find 4 better scouted teams in the NFL than the ones we're going to watch play next weekend. They scout well, they draft well, they make trades, and they're smart with free agency, and that's why these rosters are so impressive and wide, and they're still playing right now.
Well, to see more of Eric's observations of the way these units played this weekend, check out his Shorts and Shells column at our website, ProFootballWeekly.com.